Following the death of communist dictator Fidel Castro in October of 2017, Jagmeet Singh tweeted out he saw a country wrecked by poverty, literacy, and disease. When challenged about this subsequently, he doubled down on his claim, praising Castro. His tweet is still up as of the time of recording. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh is currently topping out as the highest spending individual member of parliament in the House of Commons, while Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre ranks as the lowest. Jagmeet is an unapologetic supporter of the Khalistani movement, which is a separatist movement attempting to gain some sort of Sikh country carved out of India using Canada as its headquarters.
Behind Singh was that poster of Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale, the leader of that Sikh extremist group that occupied the Golden Temple and also massacred hundreds.
Welcome back. Today, exposing Jagmeet Singh, the man against the people, or the lost Canadian child torn between two worlds. Jagmeet is defined by many as someone who's very sleazy, very slimy, a shady character at best. But as a Canadian Party leader, what does he do for Canadians?
We see one Mr. Trudeau in public that seemed, I'll be honest with you, seems really nice, right? Very friendly, very warm in public. But behind closed doors, he seems like it's a different Mr. Trudeau.
Mr. Speaker, the NDP leader was just asking about why the Prime Minister gave tens of millions of dollars in corporate handouts to powerful grocery chains. The answer, of course, is that he voted to let the Prime Minister do that. Not a single penny of that money could have gone without the vote of the NDP coalition partner.
A born Canadian growing up in Scarborough of Indian descent, Jagmeet is a lawyer, a human rights activist, and the leader of the NDP. This man has risen to a high political position to do what? To push bills like Bill 52 when he was Brampton MPP. Jagmeet wanted to have April recognized as Sikh Heritage Month in the province. It passed. Or how about the private members bill he tried to push, allowing turban-wearing Sikhs to ride a motorcycle without a helmet? It didn't happen. Or maybe it's to help out his Khalistani buddies. Let's explore that. This is Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who was supposedly assassinated by the Indian government and has been labeled a terrorist by the Indian government in 2020 over his support for the formation of the Khalistani movement. On October 31st, we assassinated her and put her on a spaceship. Nijjar is talking about Indira Gandhi, who served as the Prime Minister of India twice before she was assassinated by her Sikh bodyguard. A viral video shows Nijjar praising this and claiming this as his. Are these the people Jagmeet stands for? For anybody who doesn't know, the Khalistani movement is a group of Sikhs who have historically been seeking an independent Sikh homeland in northern India called Khalistan. And Nijjar was a key leader of the movement and hid in Canada. Jagmeet, as I said, is an unapologetic supporter of the Khalistani separatist movement.
Being targeted, our people were being massacred, we were facing a genocide.
The same movement that claimed ownership of the bombing of Air India Flight 182, of which 268 deaths were Canadian.
Targeted, our people were being massacred, we were facing a genocide.
The bombing of Air India Flight 182 is the worst terrorist attack in Canadian history, the deadliest aviation incident in the history of Air India, and was the world's deadliest act of aviation terrorism until 9/11.
Good evening. A major development in the investigation into the Air India tragedy. Police in British Columbia have arrested and charged 2 Sikh activists.
Police statements left no doubt who were the chief suspects, though they were only arrested on minor explosives charges. Talwinder Singh Parmar, then and now a leading police suspect in Air India. Parmar is the Canadian leader of the militant Baba Khalsa group based in Vancouver. And Inderjit Singh Rayat, an electronics engineer. Police had found small amounts of dynamite in his Duncan home, but he denied being the bomb maker.
Inderjit Singh Rayat, a dual British-Canadian national who pleaded guilty in 2003. Talwinder Singh Parmar, Canadian Sikh separatist leader who was one of the key individuals associated with the militant group Baba Khalsa. Parmar faced no penalties while in Canada and died in October of '92 in a gunfight in India. Rapudaman Singh Malik was a third suspect Though acquitted, he remained in Canada and was shot dead in 2022. Now, Babar Khalsa is a Sikh militant organization that aims to create an independent Sikh nation of Khalistan. Babar Khalsa is a Sikh militant organization that aims to create an independent Sikh nation of Khalistan in the Indian and Pakistani state of Punjab. Think of them as an armed branch that acts for the ultimate vision of bringing the Khalistani dream to reality with as much violence as possible. There are many military and paramilitary groups. Babar Khalsa is one of many. But I'm not here to get wrapped up in that. We're here to talk about Jagmeet. Because outside of all of this, he really is just sort of a man who is just kind of there, taking up space and not really doing much. Even with the uptick of socialist-like ideologies in Canada, he really presents nothing.
When I'm Prime Minister, I will keep my promises.
Him and his party really present nothing. When it's time for raises that everyone in the parliament got, himself included, instead of Jagmeet standing up saying, hey, while everyone is hurting, we're taking more money out of taxpayers, as he often likes to say about other things, he didn't do anything, say anything, just let it happen because he gets to make more money for himself.
What's that on the front page of the National Post? A big story about members of parliament taking another pay raise on April 1. Yeah, you heard that right. On the very same day that members of parliament take more money out of your pocket, they'll be stuffing more money into their own with another raise. So after April 1, let's look at what the salaries are going to be. So Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's salary will be just over $406,000. A minister and the official opposition leader, their salary will be just shy of $300,000. And a backbench member of parliament, along with collecting dust in the House of Commons, will be collecting a taxpayer-funded salary just over $200,000.
When it comes to taking down Trudeau, ending the coalition, and allowing people the chance to vote for a new leadership that they want.
First off, we wanted to show that we were serious about looking at the budget to make sure what we had fought for was actually there. Then we were concerned about certain things, and I raised those concerns, the disability benefit not being enough. And I raised that with the Prime Minister directly, and I said, this is wrong and this can't happen. And there was an openness to addressing those concerns. In addition, I raised concerns about the Jordan's principle not being met, that if an Indigenous child needs care, that the care should be delivered first, jurisdiction worked out afterwards. So I raised that with the Prime Minister, and I heard some openness to addressing that.
So your support is essentially contingent on an openness from the government? Like, there are lots of things the government has appeared open to which it has not followed through on.
He's holding Canada hostage, not trying to jeopardize his position, his leadership, his career. So ultimately, what you really have, though, is a very unnecessary leader. He comes off as a lost child of Canada's lack of strong identity within the country itself. Someone who doesn't fully feel Canadian, but knows he isn't really Indian either. Molested as a child in Taekwondo, Jagmeet could be fighting back in a way he wasn't able to when he was younger, and also bullied for his turban in school, adding insult to injury. All of this to piece together his identity for himself. He's thrown himself into a Sikh nationalist cause, even though he wasn't even born in India, and isn't even allowed to go back. And I fear he's not alone with that sadness. Canada-born or just raised here, there are a lot of them who just feel lost with no actual Canadian identity. So again, like I said, he himself isn't really doing anything crazy, but worse than that, he's simply just very much the unnecessary leader that's sort of just getting in the way of everybody and everything from really functioning correctly, as he's not really providing anything other than keeping Trudeau around. After enduring all of this, I can't bring myself to see him as a truly malicious person. Instead, there's a tinge of sympathy I feel for him. Yet, much like his internal struggles, his party mirrors the same fates, always hovering in mediocrity, never reaching the height of success nor plunging into the depths of failure. Jagmeet himself seems destined for this perpetual limbo, forever trapped in a state of inadequacy, neither good enough nor bad enough, just a man eternally caught in the middle, devoid of a definitive path. It's sad, but that's really all there is to him. Nothing more, nothing less. Like, comment, subscribe, and look out for more.